For our live broadcast. I'm Kaylee, one of the summer interns, and I'll be chatting with you this afternoon. For all of you here at the Bear Center today, welcome and thank you for visiting. All of our online viewers, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out the pond cam. And if you're inside, go to those large viewing windows or come on upstairs to the viewing observation deck. If you want to come on up here with me and see Tasha Bear, head over to the stairs on the right of the viewing windows and come on up. So right now in front of the pond, we have our youngest bear, Tasha. She is only 4 years old and may look like a little pipsqueak, but she is a very good eater. Now since she is 4, she can keep growing until she's about 2 years old. We expect her to get a little bit bigger and gain some more weight. Now, you might wonder what she is doing right now. Well, she is finagling around with a PVC pipe. 12:30 time is enrichment time for all of our black bears here at the center. We like to give them these enrichment objects to keep them physically and mentally stimulated. So this PVC pipe proves as a puzzle for Tasha. She has to turn it and roll it around to get all of the goodies out from inside, and she's doing an excellent job at that. She's using her right paw and her nose to move it back and forth. We got these larger PVC pipes on purpose. Bears have a long 6 to 8 inch tongue, and so this is a little too long for her to be able to stick her tongue to all the way inside, so she can't just stick her tongue in to get the treats out. She has to move it around. We also made the holes a little bit smaller, so it's also a little too tight for her tongue to get in there. And she did a great job rolling it around. I think she still has some treats in there. To be able to get all of them out, I think she's going to have to lift it up and shake that side to side. But she's content with the treats she got out right now. Inside, you'll see this is our typical bear trail mix. Those smaller black dots are some dog food that's high in protein for the bears. Not necessarily their favorite thing, but we still like to give it to them. The circular round things are some banana chips. Not always a crowd favorite. It really depends on the day what they like. And we're getting a lot of oohs and ahs up here on the observation deck as our oldest black bear, Ted, makes his way into the viewing area. If you're inside or up on our deck, look to your right, and you're going to see our gentle giant make his way on in. If you're online, the pond cam, I might be focused on Ted right now. Tasha is a little unsure of him at the moment. These two haven't been together for quite some time because we just got done with mating season. The month of June is mating season for Minnesotan bears. And we do like to keep Ted separate from our females just so we do not get cubs. Now Ted is making his way slowly but surely into the viewing area. He's really more of a morning bear. He likes to go out in the morning, have some time to himself to take a dip in the pond. Usually he's only about for an hour, and then he likes to go back in and take a nap. Now he is also going to be working with a PVC pipe. His is a little smaller with a little bit bigger holes. He does get frustrated a little bit more easily than our other bears, so we don't give him quite as hard of puzzles to do. So he still has a good time without getting overly frustrated. And so he's going to kneel and kind of work on that. Tasha is going to go back to working on her PVC pipe. And I'll tell you what all we have in these further enrichment today. So I think I left off with the banana chips. Earlier I think I saw a couple red grapes pop out. We recently tried freezing these grapes to see if the bears would like them as much as the just chilled ones, and they did enjoy them. So we've done a combination of just chilled and frozen grapes. If you see any orange circles out there, that's most likely a dried apricot. That is a crowd favorite, especially for our girls who have a bit of a sweet tooth. We have some nuts in our trail mix, some cashews and some almonds, and then some shelled peanuts. And it looks like we also have some raisins and craisins mixed in there today. Tasha is exploring. I think she's going a little bit of the pond cam's view, but she keeps popping in and out. If you guys zoom in on her, you can see she looks rather shaggy today. So she has some brown tufts of hair poking out from underneath her thick, luxurious black coat. She is starting to, well, she is right in mid-shed. So they still have their winter coats on, which are really hot for this time of year. So they're going to shed that winter coat. They have this really awesome, warm and fluffy insulating layer under that black coat, which is that fluffy brown stuff you see poking out from under there. They're going to lose that, have their summer coat for only a couple months, and then they're going to get their winter coat again. It's pretty fun to see how shaggy they get. Tasha's little rear has started to shed pretty quick because she enjoys sitting on it in her water bowl. She has a broken water bowl that no longer holds water, but it's instead become her reclining chair. So she sits on her bum frequently in there, and it's kind of shedded off that hair in kind of the shape of a heart, which just really cracks me up every time I see it. So she has wandered to the back behind our main waterfall there. Keep an eye and see if you see her poke her head around again. Ted is still working on his tube. As you can see, he is not as agile as Tasha was, so he enjoys laying down and just working the tube nice and slow. So we do have some visitors up here on our viewing deck where I am at, and I'd like to open the floor to see if anyone has any questions before we continue on with our broadcast. No questions today. I think we're more interested in watching the bears right now, which I totally understand. They're awesome creatures to see. Well, some of you online viewers did have a couple questions for us interns, and I brought my question sheet up here again with me today. Yesterday I answered, how long does it take to make dinner? So maybe some of you guys heard that. Let me see what other question I'd like to answer for the day. So what's your favorite part of being an intern? That's a very tricky question, but I think it's a really good one, so thank you guys for asking. My favorite part of being an intern has been seeing all the personalities of the bears. Before coming to the Bear Center, I was pretty naive and didn't think these bears would have such unique personalities, and that was very silly of me to think. Do you have a question? Oh, yeah. So we have a quick question up here. So we're wondering, how old is Ted? He's a 22-year-old male. So he is kind of a middle-aged bear. Yeah, so he is a middle-aged bear for a black bear. Both in captivity and in the wild, they can live to their late 30s. So I kind of compare Ted to about a 65-year-old guy. He's enjoyed the retired life. He enjoys his afternoon naps, lots of meals. And some days, you know, certain parts of your body just don't work as well as other days. So he does move a little bit slower than our more agile young'uns, but he still gets around just fine. And that kind of goes along with my question, is just what's your favorite part of being an intern? And just seeing the different personalities and behaviors of these bears. I was talking with Lauren the other day, and it's pretty cool. We're able to kind of distinguish the bears from a distance now just based on their gait. Ted is a slower moving, kind of a waddle-like gait, whereas our other bears a little bit more energetic step. Lucky, I think, is a slow, gentle, graceful walker, whereas Holly and Tasha are a little bit more energetic. Tasha has a very playful personality and gait, and then Holly does dominate and walk like a boss. So it's been really fun to see. Oh, we have another question. Oh, so the question is, do black bears eat fish at all? So 90% of a black bear's diet is vegetation. Then the other 10% is protein, but not a lot of that protein necessarily comes from meat. A good chunk of it comes from nuts that they find in the wild. And then a large portion of it would come from insects. So they love to eat insect larvae and pupae. Some black bears may eat fish. They're really not into expelling energy, and it does take a lot of energy to catch a fish. If they were to eat meat, it'd be more meat they stumble upon. So like carrion, the leftover carcass from a wolf pack, or a deer fawn is more common meat for wild black bears. So the first 10 days of a fawn's life, their first instinct is just to lay down, not to run away. And so it's an easier meal for the bears. These guys are not really predators at all. They've adapted and evolved as prey animals over the thousands of years they've been here. And so they're not going to expel that energy it takes to chase down or hunt for a meal. They don't run too often. They kind of reserve running for more of a I'm scared, I need to get away moment. Oh, so another question. What makes the bear go up a tree? It really depends on the situation. As a cub, they're extremely playful, and playing in a tree is part of their enrichment and learning. But then most of the time, if they're a little bit older, it'll be if they're scared, so fear-driven. They'll go up a tree because they know not a lot of things can climb trees. Oh, that's great. So we see Ted up here, and we see he's a large, older male. Would he ever go up a tree? At this size and age in the wild, he would not need to go up a tree. There wouldn't be a lot of bears able to intimidate him or ever threaten him, so he wouldn't have to really defend or run by himself. Even Lucky, who is about a 450-pound bear, wouldn't really need to go up a tree either in the wild. He is a good-sized bear as well. Ted is also a little bit on the older side, so I don't think it'd be very easy for him to get up a tree anymore either. And Ted, I think, sorry for your online viewers, he is underneath the observation deck right now. Something smells really good, and he's investigating. So all of you inside by the windows, you're getting a pretty good view of Ted right now. I can't see what he's smelling, but he's very intrigued by it. I could kind of hear him breathing up here, so more than likely he'd be down there smelling with his mouth open. Bears have an excellent nose, many times greater than a bloodhound dog, but they can smell even better if they open their mouth and breathe in through their mouth, running the air over the special organ they have on the roof of their mouth. I can't see what he's up to, but that'd be a guess of what he's doing, just getting a good smell of whatever was down there. Do we have any other questions up here on the observation deck? No. Well, this is another favorite part of my job, is just interacting with visitors, helping answer questions, and I learn so many things every day through questions I don't know and need help answering, or just fun observations visitors are making that I may have missed. So I've not seen Tasha again. Last time she was seen, she was behind the large waterfall in the back of the pond area. Ted is camping out up here in front of the windows, I think. Usually when he's down for a little while. So you might get a good view of Ted's rump in the viewing area. But it has been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to get ready to sign off. But for all of you visitors here at the Bear Center today, the Bear Center is not only perks we have in Ely. We love supporting the International Wolf Center on the other side of town. They teach about wolves, like we teach about bears, with a goal of dispelling myths around these amazing creatures. The wristband that got you in the Bear Center today will get you $1 off admission at the Wolf Center, so be sure to take advantage of that. Your wristbands are also good for all day, so if you want to go explore our awesome little town, get a bite to eat or some coffee, you can get back in until 6 o'clock tonight. And thank you so much for visiting and tuning in. We are completely nonprofit. We get no governmental funding, and so we're solely supported by you guys. So thank you so much for supporting us. If you want to give us a shout out on TripAdvisor, it'd be much appreciated. It's keeping us relevant in all those awesome Google searches, and the main way we're getting people here to the Bear Center. We're going to have another broadcast at 4:30, so tune in to see what our bears eat for dinner and to see if you eat like a bear. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a terrific rest of your Tuesday.